I wanted to make a video. This is more to talk about Chris Jericho. I was watching a lot of the incident with Rampage's son, and my heart goes out to Rampage and the stew. It should never happen. Raja, you gotta get your head out of your ass. I mean, like, can't be acting that way. And I think part of that is actually facing the consequences for your behavior. This just happened a week ago. I was watching stuff on what happened with Rampage's son, and just tragic, just tragic. People believing pro wrestling's real, getting offended over stupid stuff. But Chris Jericho kept on coming up, and I noticed the internet kind of knocks Chris Jericho. I'm gonna give a real story, right? I'm a nurse, and I'm a nurse for 27 years, and I was working at a hospital, it's a Presbyterian hospital, and I had, you run into a lot of patients that are dying, that are not doing well. And some of them are old ladies. And there was this one old lady that I had as a patient. She only had maybe a week or two to live, right? And I'm taking care of her. She hasn't really gone to hospice or anything like that. Everybody's doing the full court press, even though she has a terminal diagnosis. They're trying to get her to move on. Well, I befriend this old lady, because I'm taking care of her over a couple weeks as she's dying. And I get to know the family and stuff. They're sweet people. She loved pro wrestling. And this is around like maybe 2000, 2001. And this is a Chris Jericho story, by the way. So she loved pro wrestling, and she watched it like it was the Chippendales, which was funny to me and disturbing and stuff. But I listened to her rant about it, how much she loved wrestlers and stuff. And the funny thing is that because she was in such a traditional kind of mindset and stuff, this little old lady, she had never been able to go to a show. And she kind of gives me her last wish, because she's letting me know that she's accepting like the fact that she's not going to be with us for very long, that she's dying, 2001. And more than anything, she just wants, if it was possible, to get a signed picture from somebody. She just tells me that. And, it wasn't like something that she was asking me to do. But she just really wanted to have like something close to her, connecting her to the things she loved, because she loved pro wrestling. She'd watch it like religion every Monday or whenever the shows were on. And again, she's coming to grips with dying. She realizes that she's going to die, and like more than anything, she wants that. It comes up in the discourse that we have from a nurse to their patient. Well, it turns out that the WWE's in town, and Chris Jericho is signing autographs out of Hastings. I go to the bank, I get out $200 because I figure, maybe I can buy a picture from Chris, a signed picture. It's really important to this patient. And so I go over to the Hastings, there's a huge line. I'm thinking, man, I'm not going to be able to get, because I wait several hours. I don't know if I can. I talk to the security and I say, hey, this is kind of important. It's like a make-a-wish type thing. I'm a nurse at a hospital. Show them my badge. I said, I have a patient who's dying. This is her name. I just want to ask Chris if he'd sign a picture for her, and I'll pay him. They said, cool. I give the security like $50 or something so that I can do that. I go up with Chris, and he's taking time out, and they let him know, hey, this is important. And there's a huge crowd to see him, and he takes time, and he just moves the chair to the side and says, hey, what's up? Nice to meet you. Are you a fan? So yeah, I'm a fan, but this isn't about me. I have a patient. She's an old lady. She's dying. She loves pro wrestling. She told me that it was her last wish to get a picture of a wrestler, and she wanted your picture, a signed picture if you can. I have $150. I'll pay you for the picture. Chris Jericho said, you know what? This is the coolest thing ever. You tell her that that I support her. He wrote like the sweetest message to this lady. What's her name? He refused to take the money. And, like I said, well, can I give it to charity? Can I give it? He says, no, brother, you're doing a lot. Just the nicest, most human thing from a person ever, right? And this is an old lady's dying wish, right? Things that you wouldn't expect, right? And so I take this picture back to this old lady, and she was so happy. I mean, she just burst into tears. And she's holding Chris Jericho's picture like it's a teddy bear. Literally holding it like it's a teddy bear. And so she dies. She dies like a week later. And the family comes in and they bought all sorts of stuff for the staff. They make sure that they visit me when I'm on the shift, give me the warmest hug. And they were so grateful. I mean, like just a tearful Hollywood movie moment, because this old lady wanted more than anything to be connected to a wrestler. And it was a simple request. She just wanted a signed picture. It's all she wanted. And she died of a terminally ill disease. It was a brutal death. I mean, like, I don't think that they're nice deaths like that, but it just sucked. It sucked to see someone so kind, so giving, so funny, just suffer in the way that she did before she died. And we medicated her and stuff like that. It's just that some deaths, I mean, they can only be tragic. And that little autograph picture meant so much. I mean, it literally was a difference from it being just a despair at this old lady dying versus like there was some sort of sense of happiness and things. And it was because Chris Jericho just signed the picture. And so I don't care what goes on to people. I don't care like about rumors and like the petty things. Chris Jericho is a good guy. I mean, anybody who would do that is A+ in my book. And yeah, maybe he got mad, maybe he was arrogant at a moment, right? But for this lady who's dying, like that moment of kindness was game changing. So say what you want to say about people, just don't talk mess about Chris Jericho. He's a lot better person than people give him. Like, the internet is just cruel. I don't know where they're getting all this stuff. And then people are petty, right? I mean, like, there are a lot of people that talk about doing stuff. He literally stepped up to the plate and was there for somebody. A stranger. I'm coming to him as a stranger in a random moment. Like, when, just a dumb request. I need a signed picture. Right? And I was willing to pay for it. Wouldn't take anything. Just disrupted all the time he had and made getting this lady a picture a priority. Super, super cool thing. I've talked about this to other people. I've never really posted anything about it. But, that to me says so much more about who someone actually is than all this rumor crap. Right? So don't cast shade on Chris Jericho. Don't be talking mess when you don't know what you're talking about. Right? I mean, and yeah, people are going to have grievances. Wrestling is about egos, right? It's a show. People have egos. That's part of it. The dude is a good guy. He's a really good guy. And I'm sure my story isn't the only one. I'm positive that he has more stories of helping people and stuff like that. So before you rush to judgment and want to throw someone under the bus, take a second, right? I only met Chris that one time, and that was such an epic moment. And for my patient, and for her passing, it was the kindest, most human thing that anybody could do. And Chris did it. So I just wanted to share that because his name is coming up in the Raja Jackson thing, and people are saying, oh, Chris Jericho, negative. Man, if you only look at negative things, that's all you're going to see. And I'm telling you, there's positive stuff. I mean, like, and my story, people like that who have stories like that, maybe they're not broadcasting it, right? And that's a shame. That's really a shame. Because if people knew, then it wouldn't be talking so much smack. But the reality of kindness is that kindness isn't done for a camera. People do good stuff because they have a good heart. It is what it is.